Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Wolfstalker25, and today I have a brand new action figure review for you guys on the Hasbro Marvel Legends Iron Man Retro Carded Wave Model 9 armor. This figure's pretty cool. I really like it. This is actually, I believe, the third release Hasbro has done of the Model 9. Two variants. One before in the early days being the big bulky boots, and then on the retro wave from probably like 2017, 2018, 2016, they did a thinner version. We will compare this version to those later. Spoiler alert, this one is vastly superior to them both. But this figure is very cool. We got the box right below. I'll just raise the camera up a little bit. So if you want, you could do a little pause and do a little read if you want to read the back of the box there. The packaging is very cool. I do like it. This will probably be the only video out of the 3 Iron Man figures that I bought where I will show the packaging, because usually I don't bother showing it, but Retro Carded Wave, figured it'd be a little bit different this time around to show it. But I like the back. It shows the accessories being plugged in, and then you get a little look here at the actual card art of it, and it's very nice. So we're going to get rid of the packaging because we don't need the Model 9 anymore for the box. You know what it is, you know what we're looking at. So we are going to take a look at the actual figure itself. The armor is very nice. I like the red, I like the blue. We got a little bit of like a white shine of the light shining on it. The yellow and red is good. It's a different color red. It's a little inconsistent with what we've had previously. It's not the exact yellow or red that we've seen here with the Model 4. I believe this is the Model 4. This is the AI Iron Man, but it's basically the Model 4. The yellow and red is very similar, but this red is a little shinier than this one. This is more flat of a red. This one's shinier. The yellow does look very similar though, but this one actually has like a little bit of like a sparkle sheen to it, where that one was a lot brighter, more neon yellow. So it's just Hasbro being like kind of inconsistent with their yellows and their reds, but very nice. Really like the figure. Let's get a more of a standing normal pose instead of that posed up look that I had going there. Gonna remove the accessory from him too. So he does have an alternate set of hands. He's got the fist and the open repulsor hand. This is the normal one that we're used to, where it doesn't have the hinge on it. A little bit of a bummer. I wish it was the hinged version, but they don't release that one that often. So you do have a set of repulsor and a set of fists. You get both. I think these are the same fists we've gotten with most other figures. But yeah, so you got those. I'll set them back there. And then you do get the classic blue repulsor blasts that we're used to. You only get the 2. They give you the little flared out bit too. So we're going to put those over here. And then you get these new pieces. I don't know if we've ever had this before. Let me get this to focus here. This piece right here is like a repulsor smoking effect, and it's really nice. You actually get 2 of them, and I'm really happy they made these and gave these to us because they're new, they're different, and I actually really like them. I kind of wish we could get them on more figures. Alright, one thing to note about this armor and this figure is the shoulder pieces are like on the little it's got like the ring, and the shoulder plugs into it. It's got the problem that most other figures like these have, where if you keep the arm up in a position too long, it kind of gets held with the plastic rubbery piece, kind of like finds and molds to that position. This has only been like this for like 2 or 3 days with this pose. You can see it's already held, so you probably have to apply some heat and some cold water or something to get that back into the normal pose that it should be in, as you can see with this arm over here. Let me get this light adjusted a little bit. So there we go though. But that's a look at Iron Man. With the sculpt work is pretty great. I think, if I'm remembering right, these are the same upper legs as the Model 4 that we've already seen. The head is, I think, new, and the fists are the same, everything else like that. The upper arms are probably very similar, but they are, oh, actually, wait, we got pinless arms. So the arms might be new. It might be a newer like arm, just more pinless, but we still got pins down here. So there we go. All right, articulation wise, Iron Man's head can look up that far, down that much. I just noticed too, the armor looks a little bit darker yellow on camera. It's a little bit brighter and more metallic-y in person, I will say. We do have a, for the chest, we have an ab crunch that goes back that far, forward that much. Very nice. Got the waist cut. No diaphragm or anything like that, unfortunately. So the arms can go up about that far. You could probably click it once more, maybe. No, I think that's about it. So they can only go up that much, really. You could do a full 360 at the arm. The shoulder pad goes around with it. Bicep cut. Double jointed pinless elbows, like we said. So you'll probably want to maximize your movement here, you want to probably get your upper elbow cut first, and then right there. So there you go. There is no swivel at the arm, unfortunately. We didn't get a cut there because the arm proceeds to go down into the thing, I believe. Wrists do swivel and the fists do hinge, not the repulsor hands. Legs kick up that far, back that much. Iron Man on the splits, pretty nice. Upper bicep cut, or upper thigh cut. Double jointed knees, gets back that far. You do get a boot cut right here, and the ankle goes forward that much, back a little bit, and he has a tiny bit of rock, but not very much because the boot does a lot of blocking there. So there you go. That's your look at all of Iron Man's articulation. I believe I covered everything. Sometimes I forget to do a little bit of articulation or two, so hopefully I got everything this time around. This Model 9 Iron Man does stand just a little over 6.5 inches tall, or just about 6.5 inches tall. And we'll do some size comparisons really quick to some other figures. So we got G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes, your Fortnite Victory Royale The Foundation, your Star Wars The Black Series Captain Rex, and lastly for the Hasbro lineup, your Power Ranger Red Ranger. So there we go. There's a look at all those. And then we got our Mafex Nightwing, another Iron Man. This is the Mezco Stealth Iron Man. As you can see, he's a little bit taller, but I think the scale still can kind of work. It's not much taller, so I think you can still scale these together. We got Figma Samus and SH Figure Arts Goku. So look at Iron Man with all of them. Another armored character, another superhero, another Iron Man, anime character, which, you know, a lot of people always want to kind of get Dragon Ball going against different superheroes and stuff like that. So here we got your Mythic Legion Black Knight figure. I don't know the actual name of it. I just call it the Black Knight. 1000 Toys Halo Master Chief. Your Jazzware Halo Master Chief. And your McFarlane Space Marine. So a lot of different armored guys all together there. And let's get them all to the side. And lastly, for a different comparison with two Marvel Legends, being the new Scarlet Spider, which I do plan on reviewing at some point, and the anniversary Captain America, just to show Iron Man with some other Marvel characters size-wise to see what he looks like with another Avenger, and then Spider-Man, obviously. So there we go. That's a look at all your other lines and some other Marvel figures that aren't Iron Man. Now, though, I do want to take a look next to the Model 9, next to the other Model 9s that we have in the past. So this is the old version that we got a long time ago. This was probably like pre 2011, maybe probably 2011 through 2009, I think, somewhere in that range. And then this is the retro one from a few years back, probably at least 5, 6, 7 years ago at least. So as you can see, this Model 9 is a lot better in scale, looks a lot better, honestly. Fits in with most of your other Iron Men. The problem with these two Iron Men before were they were too short. So if we brought in a different Iron Man that wasn't Model 9, so we'll bring in the Model 4. Model 4 in comparison to the Model 9, just way taller than the old one, whereas it's a lot more in scale now with the new one, so it looks a lot better. One thing I'm a little confused about though is the head sculpt. Is it actually new? And I think it is. Yeah, it's 100% new. So it's a scaled up version of this old one, definitely new. So there's a look though at the Model 9. Let's take a look at this Iron Man next to some other Iron Men though. Alright, so now let's take a look at the Model 9 next to the two other brand new Iron Man figures that we have just got released in the same wave. We have the Model 1 Mark III and what Hasbro classifies as the Model 20, but it's really the Model 24. So both these armors scale up very well next to each other. They all have a very similar height range. I mean, like, if we take a look with the tape measure across the top of Mark III's head, the Model 9 is just ever so slightly shorter, just barely, the most insignificant little bit, like maybe like less than 1/4 of an inch. But yeah, these all three look great. As you can see though, we have the inconsistencies of like the red, but this one should be like a more gold and a darker red. I would love to get the Model 9 in the red style of this, or the modular or Model 13 armor. I believe I'm getting all the numbers right. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but let's take a look though next to a couple other, Iron Man armors. So we got the Model 13, and then we'll bring in what I believe is the Model 2, and then, another one we could bring in, Model 1 Mark 1. So got a lot of different Iron Men here. Let's bring up the camera just a little bit. So we'll put the Mark 1 over here. It's just your, different variations of Iron Man. If you want to change it up a little bit, bring in the Model 4. We got another comparison here. So I believe the only difference between the Model 4 and the Model 3 is maybe this head. I'm not 100% sure, but like he's got the nose, so maybe this is the Model 3 variant. This is the, I believe the 80th anniversary, or whatever anniversary it was, for basically that one, but that color, the metallic. And then, another one we got is the Extremis Model 29. Another version of Iron Man there. So, like, we got a lot of different versions here. And as you can see with the scale, it's pretty consistent across the board. The Model 9 scales really well with everybody else. And, as you can see with the Model 1 Mark III and the Model 24, they scale really well along with everything too. So let's ditch a couple Iron Men here. So we'll get rid of the Model 1 Mark 1. We'll get rid of the Model 2. Model 2 is actually slightly inaccurate from what I've seen. So we'll keep the Model 1 Mark III. We'll keep the Mark 9. Keep the Mark 13. 24. We'll keep the Extremis here too for right now. Kind of a disappointing figure in some regards. Actually, let's get rid of the modular. So this is the Mark 51 or Model 51. This is the stealth variant. I do have the normal one, but it's up on the shelf and I didn't want to bring that one down. So he was in the Hall of Armor, so I figured that would work. So again, scales really well. And then if you want to do a newer version, the Model 70 as well, again, scales very nicely with everybody else here. So lots of different Iron Men, all fantastic figures. I've reviewed most of these on the channel. If you are curious and do want to see anything older, like you want to see the Model 51, the stealth version, or the normal, or I don't remember if I did the Model 70, if you want to see any of those be reviewed on the channel, let me know and I could always maybe get around to it. Here's another newer one. I'm going to review this one after. This is the, I want to say the Mindless One Wave Midnight Suns Iron Man. So he scales nicely with the rest of them here. And then, another Gamerverse one just as another Iron Man size comparison. We got the Gamerverse in red. And lastly, we'll just do the Gamerverse Star Booster one in case you want to, have these all mixed into your Hall of Armors too. And I guess, another Iron Man that I should and need to review, and this will probably come out after these two, here is the MCU Mark II. So for an MCU comparison, there you go. Tiny bit taller than these ones. But I think it still scales out. These all work very well. They're all fantastic figures. I love all of them. They all have their high points. They all have their low points. But yeah, great looking figures. Now lastly, with the Model 9, as one little thing I want to do, I just want to see some head swap potential really quick to see what he can look like if you try and put some of these heads on him. So I got a couple here. I got the one from the brand new Model 3 or Model 1 Mark III. I have the one that came with the yellow, like the Marvel vs. Capcom modular Iron Man, the kind of like the comic one. This is, I believe, the Stealth Model 3 head or Model 4 head, and then we have a RDJ MCU one, and then lastly the more modern Tony head from the, I want to say it's the Model 51 red variant. So we're going to pop the helmet off here. We're going to start with the more modern head, see how that looks. Fits on there. Doesn't look bad, actually looks pretty good. Go with the Model 4's head. This one does not want to fit, so I'm not going to force this one on. That's like kind of on the peg as much as it goes. It would look good if it fits. You might need to heat it up to make it fit a little bit better. Here is the Model 3's head, or Mark III's head. So pretty good looking, actually fits pretty well. Little tight, but not super bad. And then we have the modular red and yellow one with the longer, more mullet-like hair. This one doesn't fit super well on the ball peg. I can't tell if it's just not getting up into the hole enough. It might not be, but it it rests on there. It looks pretty good. And then lastly, we'll do the Robert Downey head sculpt, and not bad. Actually works relatively well. Doesn't look super small, but yeah. So those are your head sculpts. We'll see all those back on the Model 3 and the Model 24 for their reviews. So that's gonna do it today. Actually, let me do one little other switch just to see. I'm curious, since the yellows are slightly similar. Let's see if these head swaps look good. They look okay. The yellows don't match 100%, and the reds don't match 100%, and this head looks a little small in this body. That is the one gripe I have with the Model 9's head. If I had to say any negative about this figure, it's the head sculpt for the Model 9 just looks a little too small. Like, personally, I don't think like this head would fit inside that helmet. If it does, there's like barely any wiggle room. So yeah, I don't know. That's the only gripe I think I have with this figure, is just the head sculpt is a little too small. Other than that though, fantastic. So for the price point of $24.99. You get like I said, get the blasts, the two sets of hands, and then you get the new little like repulsor, like smoking effect, like it just shot. So overall, I think this Iron Man is a great figure. I really like him. I think for the price point, he's pretty great. As you see, I got all three, so I will be reviewing the other ones, and I do have She-Hulk coming as well. So Whiplash and the other figure, I'll probably get around to getting them at some point, so you'll see reviews for them maybe later down the road. But great figure. Overall, I think he's a nice middle-of-the-pack Iron Man, and he's a great upgrade over this old one. As you can see, is just way too small. I do kind of like how they did the shoulders here, being the little hinge on the actual bit, but overall, I think this one will be better for just like, it looks better appearance-wise, but this one functions better articulation-wise because the arm, I guess not really, no, because you can't really, this one turns with it. Never mind. This one's just overall better. It's a bigger improvement. One little thing I don't know, though, is I'm curious if the leg could pop off here and here on these two, and if you could do a leg swap with the lower leg to get a Model 9 with the smaller leg, this design, because I think Model 9 has two different designs. You got the bigger, thicker boot, and then you got the smaller one. I would love to see this figure redone with the smaller leg, though, just to get that variant of Model 9 too. So, with that all being said, I think this figure is awesome. I think he's a fantastic Iron Man. I think he's a pretty good Marvel Legend. I think for the price point, he's not bad. Could they have put a alternate unmasked head in? Yes, I think they could have, especially for that $25 price point. I think we could have at least got another accessory or two, or maybe redone the legs in pinless form. But overall, I'm very pleased and happy with this Iron Man. I think he's great. The only other gripe I think I would have with them is I wish the reds and the yellows were more consistent across the board. But obviously in the comics, different things are drawn different ways. But I would love to see this figure re-released and maybe a gold and red or like shiny gold and metallic red. And then maybe re-release it with the thinner boots, and I think that'd be great. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me today. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know in the comments below, did you guys get this figure, or are you going to get them, or is this a pass for you? I know a lot of people don't really like, you know, all the Iron Men that release all the time, but he's my favorite Marvel character, so I am happy, and I want all the different armors that he has. So that's gonna do it today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you haven't done so already, would always appreciate a like on the video. And if you're new here, I would appreciate a subscribe as well. I try to make at least now, I'm hoping to make at least 1 to 2 videos a week, maybe even a third one depending on. So yeah, I will catch you guys all in the next one, whether it be another Iron Man review, a Halo review, or potentially Pokemon, since I've recorded a lot of those. So that's going to do it for me today, guys. I'll see you in the next one.